Mal Fletcher and Ashley Griffin. And Mal's picked out a story which is in several of the papers, which is this one about the CIA interrogation techniques and what's emerging, apparently, that they were far more unpleasant and vigorous and illegal, I believe, than we'd been led to believe.
Well, there's lots of things about this story, Will, but just to focus on a couple, I think there's three questions that come out of it straight away. What constitutes torture? What is extreme when it comes to questioning terror suspects? Remembering what the emotions were like post 9/11 in the United States particularly. Second, there's the ethics question. Is torture or extreme interrogation ever ethical or indeed moral? And that's difficult to answer because professing terrorists sometimes claim to have set in motion plans that will carry on when they're incarcerated. So are we justified in using harsh measures to protect the public in that case? And the third is the pragmatic question. Do they actually work? Does torture actually work? The school seems to be out on that. The opinions both ways very strong. And if we decide, of course, that extreme measures are immoral, then the pragmatics go out the window. Anyway.
There's another aspect to this, isn't there, which I think which is at the heart of the story, which is about openness. And what the CIA had said they had done as far as interrogation techniques were concerned, regardless of the philosophical or moral elements to those, which we could debate infinitum. But whether and the stuff which has apparently gone on, which has been above and beyond the activities they've admitted to.
Yeah, that's true. And I think there's yet another issue again, which is the fact that this isn't a US Senate report. It's a US Senate Democrat report because the Republicans in the Intelligence Committee weren't involved in it at all. So the party political aspect comes in again, and you end up with people who could learn important lessons for this, not learning them because they don't like the politics of the Democrat Party. And that sort of, again, speaks to that party politicization that I think pulls us apart, polarizes us at times when we need to come together to answer important questions like this one.
So is your take on the story that the CIA were indeed going well beyond the brief they'd been given?
Well, this is the problem, because you've got a Democrat-based report saying, yes, they were, but people will say, well, the Democrats are biased that way anyway. They're biased against George W. Bush and anything to do with his regime, including the CIA. Mind you, the current head of the CIA is a friend of Obama. So he's saying we didn't go too far. He's saying we didn't lie about it. So you're left with a situation where you don't quite know who to believe in this situation, partly because if it had been a Senate Intelligence Committee report with both parties involved and both parties backing it, I think we would have said, yeah, there's a problem, a bigger problem here than some are saying at the moment. I think it's a challenge. I think we need to answer the question about torture generally, but we need to do it in the context of what people were facing after 9/11.